filled with charcoal, or just simply egg carton, cardboard, toilet paper rolls, newspaper crumpled up starts it as well. Instant lighting charcoal is allowed, and that works well without a chimney. And then there are some other fire safety reminders to always remember. Always light them in a safe outside area. Never leave your fire unattended. Make sure fires are thoroughly extinguished after use. Any of the products that you use, like a charcoal chimney, always make sure that you are following manufacturer's instructions. And remember that our youth can earn, that are in Scouts BSA can earn a firemanship to help learn how to safely light and care for fires, but knowledgeable adults should always be present and supervising whenever fire is involved. So that is our safety moment for this month. All right, moving on, I'm going to turn it over to Laurel, who has some exciting updates about programming it at Camp Decorah.
Actually, I think we're starting off with Kelly leading part of this.
Oh, Kelly's going to do this. Okay, sounds good.
There we go.
Hey guys, pretty excited by coming up in the summer of 2023. Since we only have 2 weeks of camp because of the National Jamboree, we thought, what are some of the other programs we could add to make the summer even more exciting? And so we came up with specialty camps. These camps are all set up for to attend individually for the day or overnight. All the camps are going to occur at the same time. Majority of the programming will be camps begin on Monday, July 18th, and conclude on Thursday, July 21st. And we're gonna give you just a quick overview as far as what your scouts can take part in, and for committees.
Say, Kelly, that was pretty choppy, so I'm gonna speak for you real quick. What Kelly was just sharing is the calendar's the calendar's unique this next summer with the National Jamboree, so we're using that as an opportunity to add some additional programming through a specialty camp week, which will be offered July 17 to 20, and we'll hear a little bit more about each one of those next if we want to advance the slideshow. David Schmidtke?
Yes, Wet and Wild. So we'll be doing a number of things, starting out with swim checks and then going through snorkeling merit badge or snorkeling BSA award at the pool. And then in the afternoon, we'll be working down at the waterfront. We may continue doing some snorkeling in the pond and then kayaking and canoeing and things. The next day, our plan is to take people out to Wazee Lake in Jackson County here. It's an old iron mine, but it's used a lot for snorkeling because it's very clear water. And then possibly having some additional day trips on the Black River, possible motorboating and sailing. So just hitting a lot of the different types of watercraft and doing a lot of stuff in and on the water.
So another program that we're running is a cope and climbing week. So for Project Cope, I'll be leading them through a week involving like various team building and communications type of games. We'll be going through the low cope course, climbing out at our tower, both on the outside and making use of the chimney climbs that are inside the tower. We'll go on a field trip out to the high ropes course at UWL. And then after getting practice for a few days out on our climbing wall, we'll be going on a field trip out to Devil's Lake to do some natural climbing.
So I get to talk about the Bassmaster Challenge. I'm Justin Pitts,
Okay.
staff. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Sorry, am I talking too loud? Welding a lot and grinding today. So we're gonna go and do some fishing, right? We're gonna do river fishing, bay fishing. We're gonna try to meet with some DNR people, go to see their their sites and talk about fishing and that stuff. This is more than just fishing, like more than just fishing merit badge. So you're like your first year scouts are like, oh, I already did fishing merit badge. This is more than that. This is like all fishing all day. This is the kid that like barely comes to camp because they're like, I love fishing. This is their thing, right? So we're gonna get some local assistance from some local fly fishing groups, some fishing groups. We're trying to reach out to UWL and get, work with some of their fishing club members, and then kind of build up awesome adventure through fishing. And so if they do some other stuff, they might be getting a merit badge of fly fishing or fishing, but it's more like more event, right? So we're like, we understand like sometimes the kids are all merit badged out, and that's understandable. This is a fun, like, let's just do some fishing. That kind of goes for, I think, most of these specialty camps, right? We're talking like climbing and snorkeling and all that other stuff. That's not something they normally get at a summer camp. So that's where we're trying to hit with these specialty camps. I'm thinking, yeah, makes sense. Thumbs up. Yeah. Woo! Awesome.
And then the other feature about these specialty camps is that for any of your older scouts that want to participate in that specialty week, but don't necessarily have adult leaders that can go with them, we're offering provisional camping if they choose to stay overnight during that week. So the standard program is going to be offered during the daytime, ending before dinner. But if your scouts choose to stay, or if there are any units coming from further away where driving every day just isn't feasible, provisional camping is an option, so they can stay in a campsite with the camp staff as their leaders.
If we could go back to the very first slide on this, I think Kelly's audio might be a little more cooperative now.
Yeah, I got so excited by the specialty camp, completely forgot about summer camp 2023. Really excited by it as far as what we have going on. I made some changes this year just to strengthen the program. We eliminated our Thursday night campfire just to open up the program areas a little more. Our nightly patrol competitions are going to be rotated through the different program areas. Trade post is something we're really excited by. We're taking the trading post, the old trading post, and making it the trade post, and we're offering electricity, plumbing, and graphic arts merit badges, as well as welding that Justin's been doing for a while. So a little bit more of that technology end of it will be up in the trading post, which will now be the trade post. Campsite cooking is just going back to Wednesday night only, and we're doing our older scout program called our micro checks. Monday it's our decor peak hike. Tuesday we're doing North Bend canoe trip. Wednesday an Elroy Sparta bike trip, and then Thursday the ever popular UWL high ropes course. So we're expanding out a little bit more as far as for the older adults, and for the fourth year in a row, staff retention is about 90%. It's really good because it shows the passion that the young people have for this program. It's their ones who make it fly and make it go. So we're pretty excited by the changes that we have, and once again, everything just to strengthen the program.
All right, is this where we need to be?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we briefly mentioned it last month, but we do have the themes in for our Cub Scout programming for the summer. Cub Scout Overnight is doing an Indiana Jones theme with Raiders of the Lost Pack. That's going to be held June 23rd through 24th. So that'll be a program that starts in the morning after breakfast on, I think it's a Friday, and then ends on Saturday before dinner. So it's just one overnight. And then Weeblo's Overnight Camp is a Marvel Universe theme. So they'll be doing superhero related activities from July 21st through the 23rd. So that one has 2 overnights. And then on the next slide, we've got our week-long. So our week-long day camp is Cubosaurus. It's a dinosaurs and paleontology theme. So that's being held August 7th through the 11th.
All right, lots of fun and exciting things planned for Camp Decor next summer. Thank you for that summary. So we are going to move into our breakouts right now, and I think Joe is going to help us get everybody where they need to be.
We'll open the rooms. If you're able to pick a room, go ahead and do so. And I'm going to start moving people as quickly as we can as well.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, advancement update from Dave.
Yes, and for those of you that don't know me, I'm actually the one and only advancement chair for the council. And the reason I got to be advancement chair is we didn't have one. And National was encouraging us to have one. So I volunteered along with doing a little extra other duty, but we are still continuing to build our vast organization through solid volunteerism, which all of you demonstrate. So a round of applause for everybody. So what I try to do is to keep updated through regional meetings on advancement activities, information, so that when I get asked questions, which does happen, I actually have a chance to answer them. The recent advancement updates included a couple things. I don't know if it's on another slide or not. There was some updating in the last roundtable on Cub Scout activity. I think it's probably the next slide. So there were some Scout rank changes in advancement from Scout through Star ranks, and that became effective in August, but is completely changed over as of January 1st this next year. So if you have any Scouts transitioning and advancing in rank, they need to meet the new requirements as they're stated. And there is a link to the comparison of the rank changes that you can see on the bottom of this slide. So I don't know if this will be sent out to people, but you can also access it via the advancement website online. What they did was to try to align the leave no trace and outdoor code with the information in the handbook and field book, so they incorporated into all rank advancements. So it's a little clear what needs to be done. So that's an information to update there. The second thing is for Eagle, we have the Citizenship and Society Merit Badge. And there actually was some activity in that within council. There were a couple groups that a group that got together and apparently offered that in the Sparta area this last weekend and perhaps this weekend. I don't have the details on that, but between Merit Badge Weekend and special offerings, we will probably periodically be trying to offer that. And right now it's really up to a lot of the troop leadership to get together to offer that. We have training materials and some guidance in that available. Elizabeth and Eric put together some material and I added to it so that the training material and the guidance and suggestions for how to hold that is available for anyone that is interested. So if you either send a note to Elizabeth or send it to me, or to the office, which can be forwarded to me. I will get that to you. The Citizenship in Society Merit Badge is unique in that there is no book. It is counselor-led discussion among scouts, and there's some research work that they need to do and some writing that they need to do or have been doing in order to meet this. And supposedly it takes on the order of a calendar month to get through it. So I don't know if there are any questions on that within the group here.
Does
All right.
anyone know if it will be offered at the Merit Badge Day?
No, I do not. And it has generally been offered as a day-long thing. It takes longer than that to do it. There's some follow-up on it. So if it is offered, it might be a starting session to start the process, but you would not be able to get through the whole thing in a day.
All right. So next on our list, if you're done, Dave, was there anything else you needed to cover?
Yeah, one other thing, we've had a number of scouts get advancement time extensions to cover their Eagle advancement and finishing out their Eagle projects. So substantially, most of their advancement should be done before their 18th birthday. It doesn't all have to be done, but they should have their Eagle project identified before their 18th birthday. And we are allowed to grant up to 6-month time extensions. And we've had on the order of about 10 scouts within council that have taken advantage of this to compensate for some of the lost time in troop meeting losses and other interruptions of their lives, some sicknesses and in accidents they've had to deal with. But we have a number of scouts that have been able to extend it, and that's worked out pretty well for them to complete their Eagles, and that's still ongoing. And the process for getting a time extension is simply either the scout or their scoutmaster or parent can request a time extension. The scout needs to do a statement, which can be handled through an email. And I need a scoutmaster statement in an email. And I'm responsible for making out the rest of the paperwork. And I work with the scout office to go ahead and get the rest of it done. And generally, everyone that's applied has had met all the requirements for getting an extension, and we've had extensions up to 6 months that have been granted, and that's helped them quite a bit. So the scouts have been very happy because they've been able to fulfill a lot more of the goals that they have for their Eagle. So it's really improved the quality of what they've been able to do rather than try to pack it in before their 18th birthday when they're short on time. So again, our council website under Life to Eagle has some of that information as, again, a source for a general checklist for Eagle rank advancement. So please have your scouts look at that if they're considering it so that they know what's required. Again, any other questions on that? Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Dave. All right. So next up is Klondike Derby. So we just finished having a meeting on this this week. We worked on hammering out more of the details for you. So our theme for this year is going to be an Oregon Trail theme. All roads lead west. So Klondike is going to be held on January 28th from check-in starting at 8:30, events ending at 4 o'clock. So this event will feature sled races and patrol competitions. So if your units want to participate, or if any individual patrols in your unit would like to participate, they need to build a sled. I've got a website made up on the council page. So on there, it has some links to some different types of sled designs. We're not putting any limitations or restrictions on the sled designs. The kids can come up with whatever they like. Just keep in mind, just in case there isn't any snow, the kids are allowed to find a way to attach or take off wheels if they would prefer that to pull around their sled just in case there's not snow. So our pricing for that is going to be $12 per participant and $5 per adult. We do need troop adults to help us with staffing some of these stations. So once registration is in process, if one of your leaders could reach out to either Christopher or myself, we'll help you find spots for different stations that you can help us run. We will need help as well with collecting some equipment for that. If anyone knows of someone or a unit that has any snowshoes that we could borrow, or if any units have any tomahawks we could borrow, that would be really helpful. Let's see. Lunch and a patch are provided. If your unit would like to stay after and have dinner will be an extra $5 ticket. And then if any units would like to stay overnight, that's just going to be an individual unit registration using the facility rentals to rent one of the lodges that are here at camp. Does anybody have any questions about Klondike?
Thanks for getting that put together, Laurel.
Yeah, actually, I have a question.
Okay.
Is the ability to stay overnight just Saturday to Sunday, or can it be set up Friday night through Sunday?
You're more than welcome to stay both nights if you'd like to.
Okay.
And if you need any information on how many bunks different buildings have, just shoot me an email and I'll help you out with that.
All right, thank you.
All right. Merit Badge Day. Who's got that one? Let me double check who was supposed to have it. They might not be here. I'm gonna guess that whoever was leading this one wasn't able to make it to the meeting tonight. I don't know much about the event, but I would suggest just going to the website for it.
It'll be as fabulous as it usually is.
Yeah. All right. Oh, here's some more information. So I guess I'll just read through this. Let's see. So it'll be starting at 9 o'clock, ending at 4. Fingerprinting is only a 3-hour badge. Crime prevention is also a 3-hour badge. Arrive at 8:30 to 8:50 for check-in. Bring your own sack lunch, any snacks or drinks that you want. Make sure that your scouts bring notepads, pens, or pencils. The scout should be in uniform and bring any prerequisite work. So they are teaching fingerprinting, crime prevention, citizenship in the nation and world, environmental science, first aid, personal management, programming, robotics, and fire safety. So I guess that answers our question about that other citizenship badge. We'll have to see if we can get that one scheduled in at the next Merit Badge Day. All right, and then somebody's got MYLT.
Yes. Hey, this is John, Tomat Scoutmaster 68 and course director for NYLT this year. I had some pictures lined up, but they were so mind-blowingly awesome that nothing would have felt right coming after. So in the interest of the larger presentation, I left them out. Or it might have been too that some of our information isn't locked down yet. We are running the 11th to the 16th, as the slide tells you. The registration will be coming online in probably mid-January. The course fee is, I'm not exactly sure where that's going to land, but somewhere around $250, $260, that range. And really want to encourage Scoutmasters to take a look at the Scouts in their troop. You have to be 13 and first class and ready to be away from home for a week and to buy into the program. And if a Scout can bring those things, we guarantee they will have a blast. And they will learn a tremendous amount. They will spend a week in a BSA model troop that is almost entirely youth-led. And they will learn about solving problems, setting visions, applying goals to visions. They'll take the teaching edge and combine it with the leading edge and with stages of group formation to determine what leadership style is most appropriate in a given situation. They'll have all kinds of fun challenges. They'll have great food. We'll have spectacular weather with at least one big storm almost guaranteed. And the only thing that we're a little bit nervous about this year is for the first time BSA is putting a minimum registration of 30. We can go down to 25 with permission, but if we don't have at least 25, we won't be able to run the course. So we're walking this line between not wanting to encourage Scouts who aren't ready, but making sure that every Scout that is ready is encouraged to sign up and join the course. Our youth staff has already started meeting to plan the course, and starting in January, we're going to be meeting very regularly because there are so many moving parts. It takes that long to put together an awesome, phenomenal week-long leadership camp. Does anybody have any questions?
I'll just add a comment to that. I would encourage any Scout that is interested and also interested in ultimately an Eagle. It's a fabulous course to take. And it helps them a lot approaching their Eagle rank advancement. So currently about only half of the Scouts in our council have taken NYLT as they approach their Eagle advancement. So I'd like to encourage it. And having been on staff a couple of times, I can say that one experience that some of our Scouts never forgot is that they know when their eggs on the griddle are done, when they float off the griddle from rain.
That's the big storm. I'm Scott Safransky. I'm the assistant Scoutmaster this year, or one of them. And the one thing I'd like to add is that, we get surveys back from the Scouts every year from the participants. And one thing that comes through from just about everyone is that they heard about or decided to go to NYLT because a Scoutmaster told them about it. So we really need you to think about the Scouts in your troop and, encourage those that, as John said, are, meet the requirements and are prepared. Encourage them to think about NYLT because your impact in getting those kids enrolled is just second to none. There was something else I had in my head, but those things usually fly out. But at any rate, and the thing I was going to say is that we'd certainly be happy to come visit a troop meeting or whatever we can do to help talk about what's going to be there and what a great experience it is. And again, I'm involved. I've been involved for years because I see the transition from the beginning of the week till the end. And it's one of the most, when I start getting back in NYLT every year, I just enjoy it so much because of that. And they can do a lot of good for your troop when they get done.
Yeah, I will echo that. I've been involved for close to 15 years, and partly because it's a blast, and partly because as a high school teacher, I see growth in kids over a year, 2 years, 3 years. In NYLT, we see it in a week. We've literally had multiple people ask us after the course, what did you do to my kid? Because they go home and the parents see a difference. They go back to their troops and their scoutmasters see an immediate difference. And especially for the girls troops, the leaders in the girls troops were not Boy Scouts. And so they're at a little bit of a disadvantage in helping the girls figure out how a troop is supposed to run. And this will really set the girls troops up for some solid youth leadership. So we really strongly encourage the girls to, in fact, our last senior patrol leader was phenomenal. Carissa was just terrific. And many of you probably know her from camp staff as well, Carissa Adams. And we strongly encourage female scouts to sign up.
I have a question about if scouts need to have an adult with them or if they
No.
can sign up. Yeah.
We do not, we don't want the adults there. In fact, we don't, because one of the things that we will require is that cell phones stay home. We need them present in our course. As adults, you're more than welcome to visit, see what we're doing a little bit from a distance, but we want them focused in our program area. We don't want them thinking outside. We don't want their mind in other places. So no, you do not, other than dropping them off, enjoying a week vacation and then picking them up. We do want you to pick them up at the end. No, we do not need adults there.
Thanks.
That being said, we are interested in folks who might be interested in joining our adult leadership team. So if that strikes you something interesting, you can talk to Scott or Lisa Stenzlin or me, and we can see if we can find a role for you. Easy role.
The program is also really beneficial if you have any older scouts that are looking into potentially joining the Camp Decorah staff. It helps a lot with some of our younger staffers. You really see a difference between all of their different communications and teaching classes that they learn during NYLT. It really helps them a lot when they're learning how to communicate information to younger scouts.
And I believe it is still required to CIT. It's a prerequisite for CITing and for staffing. So if you have a scout that's interested in those things, this is the first step.
Yes. All right, what's next? I guess that's it for our breakout. The only other note that I had for our breakout here was that out at Camp Decorah, we need more people that are interested in becoming camp hosts. So as a camp host, you'd be staying in the guest lodge for a weekend when there's a troop out here camping. And then your role would just be to assist them with anything that they need, like hanging out with their adult leaders, helping give their adult leaders some guidance if they're new leaders, just helping make sure that the troop is comfortable during their stay, and assisting in case of any emergencies or inclement weather. Generally, there's not a lot that a camp host needs to help with, but it's really helpful to get some scout leaders with a lot of experience just to be able to hang out with that unit and assist that troop with whatever needs they have or pass on information. So on our website, I started updating the camp host page with current reservations for the year. I need to go back and put in more information for the registrations that came in this month. But we do have plenty of weekends starting in January that could use a camp host. I think there's 2 or 3 different units that are coming out the weekend of the 21st in January. So I could really use a camp host to help me with that while I'm at Winter COC for the OA. So if anyone is interested in camp hosting and being able to stay out at Camp Decorah for a weekend for free in the guest lodge, let me know, shoot me an email or a phone call. And that'd be really, really helpful to our team out here. I guess now it's time to go back to the main room if I can figure out how to send us there.
I think, yeah, we just go by ourselves. There's a
Okay.
leave room button. Except I click on it and nothing happens.
I clicked on mine and it said it went from leave room to leave meeting.
Yeah, mine too.
I clicked on leave room and nothing happened. We're trapped.
We're in here
Okay, then we
forever.
might be waiting on the Cub Scout breakout room before
no
they
escape.
free us from this one.
There's no escape.
Did anyone else have anything they wanted to talk about while we're stuck here?
I can add in some more NYLT topics, ethical decision-making and servant leadership, communication skills, all kinds of cool stuff.
I can make a comment on the couple things. With all of the Eagle candidates that I talked to, I spend about an hour with each one. And one of the things that they stumble on is the word ethical. And a discussion I usually had with them is the fact that most people, when you say the word ethical, their brain cells freeze. They have to think really hard about it and translate it into something they can understand. So I try to coach them in the sense of, you're just trying to do something to not make life difficult for other people. You're just trying to avoid problems. And that they get along with. Because I usually ask them, are they going to be confronted with any kind of ethical questions or problems with their projects? And all of them have great difficulty with that. And I have to convince them of the fact that they're always faced with ethical problems because they're working with people. And there's always problems they can get into with people, and they just have to understand that and deal with it. That's their job as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to help the group stay out of trouble and don't create problems. And clean up after yourself.
Mom and dad like that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
But otherwise, when they're faced with questions like that, the brain cells do freeze. So there are a number of little topics like that that are trip ups for them. That, and surprisingly, I ask all the scouts, what are their values? And we always get around to the fact that even though they have practice saying the Scout Oath and Law, they don't relate that to what their personal values are. They go into some long-winded explanation about how they want the world to be better or something. So even though we've probably mentioned it a couple times along the way, it's not a topic of everyday discussion in troops. And by the time they're 17 plus, they've pigeonholed that discussion into the troop pigeonhole, and there it stays, never to be taken out again. It's right in there with ethics, the brain cells freeze.
Oh, I've got an idea for another topic we could cover. Justin, do you want to talk more about the trades post?
I was actually gonna jump on if no one wanted to talk about anything. So the summer with the trades, so I teach tech ed, if you didn't know. So like welding and machining and engineering. And so I'm gonna transfer over there and to the trades post. So we're gonna be doing you know, like Kelly said, the graphic arts merit badge, the plumbing merit badge, the electricity merit badge. And with that, there are some things that if you are, you know, purging your house after the new presents come in, or you're like going through your house and cleaning out after, you know, in the like springtime, if you have one of those snap together electricity sets, the merit badge requires to make like a simple circuit. And so instead of having to buy a bunch of wire and solder and crimp everything together, and you know, some kids snapping 12 9-volts together and figuring out they can weld with it, it's a nice little snap together kit. And then when I'm there in the afternoons, we could have open hours of like, hey, come play. And there's 200 snap together kits. So I've been perusing the Goodwills and the Salvation Armies for them as they come up. But if you have one you're going to get rid of, or you're like, my kids never play with that anymore, show it to them. They might dig into it, because my 5-year-old's like, Dad, let's do those. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of above you, but let's go. So if you have those, we'll take them, because it'll help out with the merit badge and also fun activities for kids. You can just bring them to the scout office, and I've told Joe about, like, we need them for camp. And so if they start showing up, he'll know to get a hold of me. And then we're like trying to get some plumbing people in and bring in some outside groups. I'm working with Amy and trying to get some graphic arts people in. I'm really excited about it, and I really hope all these kids become excited about it, because it'll make it super easy and fun to teach the merit badges. And they're all going to be up at the trades, the old trading post, the trades post, because that has all the power that it needs for welding and all these other activities. So that's pretty cool. Any questions on that? If you want any more information about that, feel free to reach out. Okay. Hi, is anyone from Sparta? Sorry, that's all my spiel.
Yeah, who needs somebody from Sparta? I thought I heard somebody ask for Sparta.
There's the question in the chat about, is there anyone from Sparta who could talk about their first day of the Citizenship and Society Merit Badge?
Oh, nope. Yeah, sorry, I didn't go to that. Corey would be the guy. Sorry.
Oh, looks like we're going to get out of the breakout room after all.
I wonder where we were.
As long as it doesn't look like Kansas.
Well, Justin, I do have a couple of kits for you, so I'll leave those at the office sometime.
That's great. So any of the Cub Scouters, I was talking about the trades post at Camp Decorah. If you are purging after Christmas with all of your fun new toys, and you are looking to get rid of any of those snap together electronics kits, they are basically like little button, you can snap them together. I can run over and grab some. But if you want to get rid of them, we'll take them for the trades post. Kind of meets one of the easier kind of requirements on the electricity merit badge. And also it's a fun little thing that kids can do. My 5-year-old's been like wanting to just tear into them every night. So it's going to be hard to pry them from his hands. But if you have some that you're getting rid of, feel free to bring them to the scout office, and they'll put my name on them, and I'll collect them together so we can use them for the trades post.
All right, everyone, welcome back. I think, do we have everyone back now from breakouts? As far as we know. All right, very good. Okay, we've got a few updates from the council. We'll move right into those. So first of all, we've got some training opportunities coming up, both for Cub leaders and Scouts BSA leaders. Is there somebody from the training team that would like to give us an overview? I see Scott on, I think John was on, I know Lisa was on.
I can take that.
Okay.
We have two upcoming Cub Master, Den Leader, Committee Chair, Charter Organization training coming up. One on Saturday, January.
Oh, you just muted, Lisa.
You hear me now?
Yep.
We have Cub training coming up. This is one of the requirements to be your trained leaders, that anybody that has contact with children have direct leader contact training. They have several requirements. First is youth protection. Then they need to start out with their leader specific training and weather safety to get their training. And then there's other trainings coming up besides that. Blue training, which is an outdoor leader skills to teach you about the rights and wrongs, about taking the kids out on adventures or different events. Every pack is required to have one blue training with on any type of outing or excursion. Then we have the Scout BSA. We have direct leader contact training coming up, which is the Scoutmaster and Scoutmaster specific training on Saturday, February 4th, which is Merit Badge Day. So if there's any leaders that do need that training, we will have availability to get you guys get your training besides the boys doing their merit badges. Wilderness First Aid, which is a required training to take them on some very high adventure training, such as up in Boundary Waters, or if you're going on Philmont, or if you're going on any adventures. That is being held on April 29th and 30th at Camp Decorah. That is only a daytime training from like 8 to 4. Unless you want to make arrangements, we can make an overnight accommodations for you if you need to, if you're traveling from long distance. And then there's the second part of the Scoutmaster Pacific training, which is your training to get your training patches, outdoor leader skills training that you need, which is offered the same weekend as Blue on May 19th through the 21st.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. And if you want more information about any of these, and I think there is registration open on the Gateway Scouting Training website. And the link is there, or it's really easy to find right from the main page of gatewayscouting.org. All right, we do have some new units, as we mentioned in our Cub Scout group. Somebody gonna cover this one?
I think just a welcome and exciting for us to know as an organization that we're growing in scouting. And for those of us that have been around a little bit, important to remember that we've got people that are new to things. And if we, encounter a new unit out at a council event or somewhere else, a kind face and a, hey, how's it going? Always goes a long way.
All right, thank you. Welcome to the new units and the volunteers that are helping with those new units as well. All right, Friends of Scouting.
You've got most of the information on your screen here, but we are starting to get ready for this project. Looking for a time, February through April, that somebody could come out and do a brief 10-minute presentation with your unit. And we use these funds to help support scouting in our area, increased marketing, program resources, and able to use this to keep activity fees and camp fees lower than what you see in a lot of other programs or a lot of other scout councils specifically. More information online, gatewayscouting.com/FOS, or you can speak with Morgan.
And it looks like there is an incentive this year to getting that scheduled.
Yep, thank you, Matt. Yep, if you submit a date prior to February 24, so the date does not need to occur, but you just need to get on the schedule with us, whether it's an April 1st date or what, you'll receive a voucher for a free night of camping at a campsite out of Decorah, or a buy one, get one stay in a lodge.
All right, awesome. All right, we got tubing at Fort McCoy again this year. Are there some details beyond the date that we have on the screen?
Registration for this, I believe, is open. $20 per scout attendee or friend or family member. Always a great event at Fort McCoy. Easy way to arrange a pack activity for January is participating in this one.
And it's a great tubing hill. It's a lot of fun.
We had a question in our committee meeting about that. It's not a lot, but they do have a $17 fee for military members. Are they willing? I mean, we do have a lot of military members in scouting. Does anybody, did they check and see if they would give us a better rate?
I would expect that as a military member, I would go ahead and register directly with Fort McCoy or register directly at Whitetail Ridge for that event then.
I was just thinking, like when we went last year, they gave our pack, we just had to have one member, and they gave our pack the discounted rate.
let's Morgan and I'll look into that and see, any adjustments we'll put on the website.
All right. Then we've got Polar Day Camp coming up as well. Laurel, have you got some details?
A little bit. Kelly and I were just talking about this one this morning. So our date is set for February 18th. Check-in will start at 12:45 and run until 1:15. You and your scout can show up at any time during that half hour, and the kids are welcome to go sled on the hill during that half hour as well. We'll be running ice fishing. We just got some ice fishing gear donated this year. So I'm going to work with Peter on getting ice fishing set up. They can build snow forts. We'll play broom ball. They'll have a nature hike, crafts. We'll do community soup again, where everybody brings a can of non-cream soup. And then they'll be learning a little bit about cold weather emergency preparedness and cold weather first aid and ice rescues. Basically just everything that they need to know on their age level about how to prepare for the cold and for winter camping.
All right.
And that is $10 per youth.
Is this geared toward Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, or?
This is Cub Scouts. But if any of your Boy Scouts, if they would like to come help run in these stations, they're more than welcome to. It's going to be mostly the camp staff running it. And then we're having our camp staff first meeting of the year after this is over.
All right. Thank you for the update. Always a fun event for the Cub Scouts and the council. All right, so a few dates to keep in mind. There was information shared about several of these, so we don't need to talk through each of them. However, one note is that Scout Night at the Children's Museum is back. I don't believe it's an overnight this year, but it is time for Cub Scouts to go and have some time there. That's at the end of March 31st. And then you can see all of the other dates. I think those were all covered during breakouts or other announcements that we had. You could always get more information from the Gateway Scouting website, and there is a search box on there where you can look for any of these events. Our next roundtable will be January 12th, and we will have our scouting community breakouts at that roundtable. And so we look forward to seeing you there, where our scouting communities can reconnect and continue planning for things like crossovers and maybe start thinking Pinewood Derby for our packs and some items like that. All right, I'm going to let Joe take it away for a Gateway Area Council Minute.
Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas or other celebrations that your family may be involved with. Had a chance to see scouts out and about a few different times, bell ringing and hearing about units making decorations for community events, and visiting with residents at care centers, and just really terrific to see scouting out in the community, visible, giving back. It's a big part of what the program's all about. So if I don't see you in person in the next few weeks, please celebrate the holiday season with friends and family.
All right, thank you, Joe. Do we have a poll this month? I know we do have one set up.
Yes, yep. So the poll will launch and provide some feedback for us.
All right, great. Thank you. Happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, and we will see you all in 2023.